Hey guys, this is going to be the Netgalley Book Tag, which was started by the blog Courtney Reads, and it was started as a blog tag, but I've decided to do it as a video. I will leave a link to her blog post down below so you guys can see the original tag. On to the questions. So, auto-approved. Who's one author whose books you automatically want to read regardless of what they're about? J.K. Rowling is a really obvious choice. Obviously, I have Cursed Child on the bookshelf behind me waiting to be read, because that's one that I'm actually terrified for, and it's almost making me question this answer because I don't know if I want more Harry Potter now, but I've talked about that before, so I want to get another one. Another option whose books potentially fill me with a lot less dread when there's a new one is Sarah Dessen. She was the first young adult author that I read, and I immediately read all of her books pretty much before branching out into any other YA. I think I will read anything she writes. I'm never scared to read it like I'm turning out to be for J.K. Rowling. Request. What makes you want to request a book that you see on Netgalley? Like Courtney pointed out in her blog post, because of the way Netgalley's set up, the cover is really the first thing you see. So it is true that the cover pretty much has to draw me in because there's nothing else to go on unless I click on the book. But I'm not going to request a book unless the description interests me. I feel like talking about what is needed in a description to draw me in could fill up a whole video on its own, so I won't go into all of that. Basically, it just has to look like a book or sound like a book when I'm reading the description that I would enjoy reading. Back ratio. Do you review every book you read? If not, how do you decide what books to review? I do basically review every book I read. There are a few limited exceptions, like if I have to read a textbook for a class, I may not review that textbook. There have been exceptions to that as well, but the vast majority of the time, usually if I've put it in on Goodreads that I'm reading it, I'll at least give it a 5 out of 5 star review, but not actually review it as in write anything. There are also times where I'll read the classics and not review them. A lot of the times I do review classics as well. It kind of all depends on the book itself. Pretty much the older the book, the less likely I am to review it, just because it feels kind of pointless. If it's a book that's considered part of the literary canon, I don't feel like my review can add that much. Obviously there's always literary analysis, and that's always valid no matter how old the book is, but a review I feel becomes pointless once the book is hundreds if not thousands of years old, and so I may not review those. When it comes to modern fiction though, I pretty much review everything I read. I can't really think of an exception to that. Badges. If you could create your own badge to display on your blog, what would it be for? I really don't know, but thinking about it, I would really like some sort of badge about reading independent authors, independently self-published authors and things, because not that that's all I read or that I read an especially large amount, but I do think that a significant portion of the books I read are self-published, and I really like that. I really enjoy that. Sometimes does it go wrong and is it a terrible book? Yes, but I've also read some really great self-published stuff. 2 of my favorite series ever are self-published, and so I really do like to read self-published stuff. And when I review self-published books, I feel like I'm helping in a way that I don't feel with traditionally published books, because obviously my review of a traditionally published book can do good and help the book, but with self-published books, they have such a small readership base that I feel like I'm being even more influential, and I really like the feeling that I'm helping an author who needs the help because they don't have a huge marketing team behind them. So I would like the idea of having a badge that had something to do with that, but I'm not entirely sure what. Wish for it. What's one book that you are absolutely dying to read? So on the shelf behind me, I don't know how visible it is, I have the Art of the Animated Series book about Avatar: The Last Airbender, which came out years ago, and from the like moment it came out, or even before it came out, it looked so amazing. And Avatar is my all-time favorite TV series. Nothing will ever usurp my love for it. I like desperately wanted the book, and it took years before I got it. I got it for Christmas this past year, along with the Korra art books, which they did one for each season, unlike Avatar, which is for the entire series. I got all of them for Christmas. It was amazing, and I haven't read any of them yet. I kind of like the anticipation of having them. They're so pretty just to look at, but I'm really excited to actually finally read them. 2016 Netgalley Challenge. What was the last book you received as an ARC that you reviewed? I received Paper Hearts by Beth Revis from Netgalley, and that was the last Netgalley book that I reviewed. So that is all of the questions. I'm not going to tag anyone specific, but if you would like to do this, then you can consider yourself tagged. And please let me know if you do this tag, so I can like read your answers if it's on a blog post, or watch your video or whatever, because I would be really interested in hearing your answers. And I will see you guys later. Bye.